the hardest part about fighting is just controlling it mentally, I would say. But the hardest part of being a fighter is training every single day. I have more wars in the gym than I ever do in the fights. You know what I mean? I've had crazy wars in the gym, and in the fights, it's never as hard as it is in the gym. You know, it's hard, more mentally hard, but physically, training in the gym is way harder. You know, you go in, you're tired, you're sore from previous practices.
Zulucast talk.
Χορηγός της εκπομπής είναι το Πανεπιστήμιο Νεάπολης Πάφου. How do they call you?
Christos, the Spartan Giagos.
Yeah, like, I mean, your friends.
They call me Christos, but a lot of my close friends call me Junior.
Yeah,
because my dad's name is Christos too.
Oh, okay.
So my family always called me Junior, so they don't get confused. And then my close friends call me Junior. But then as I was going to school, the teacher would read the name Christos. So as I got older, a lot more people started calling me Christos. So only like my close friends still call me Junior.
Yeah,
but everybody else calls me Christos.
They do have this in the States. Like they call Junior. Like if you're carrying your parents, your father's name. They do have that. Yeah. I don't know if you can do that here. Like, if you do that here in Greece, this sounds cocky. Like, you should name your kid your same, you know.
but I mean, they kind of do that in Greece a lot. But I mean, it's more about their dad, right? They name after their dad, and the middle names after themselves, and the last name.
Yeah,
that's how it usually goes. So my brother was the firstborn, so that he was named after my dad's dad, Yanni. And then my dad had me, the second, and he was like, well, I want to name him Christos. So
that is good.
Yeah. I like it. And then when I have a son, I want to name him Christos too as well, and he'll be Christos the third.
Oh,
so it'll be cool kind of thing.
Carrying a legacy.
Yeah. My wife's not too happy about it, but
well, what if she's a baby girl?
What was that?
What if she's a girl? Like
Well, she's a girl. We can't
Christina?
name her Athena because that's my mom's name. But
beautiful name as well.
Yes, I love the name, but my wife also her mom's ex-husband is married to an Athena, so it's kind of like she doesn't want that name because of it's like her mom's ex-husband's wife, so so I'm not allowed. We can't use the name Athena. She said no Athena, so I said okay, you can pick the girl name, I'll choose the boy name. So that's how it goes.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, I think that's
sounds
fair.
50-50.
Exactly.
I'm so happy you're here, man.
Yeah. No, this is cool. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks for being here. And how long are you going to stay here in Greece?
I'm here for 12 days. We were in Argos for 2 days because my dad's brother, he let us stay at his house in Mili, right there by the water. It was really nice. So he took us around and showed us around. And now we're in Athens for a day. And then tomorrow we're going to Paros. And then we go to Milos. And then we come back to Athens for like half a day. Then we go back home. So
awesome.
Yeah. Just enjoying our little honeymoon because since we moved to Florida, right when we got married, we moved to Florida. So we didn't have time to do the honeymoon. We were just getting our new house together and stuff. So we put it on hold, and now it's finally here.
Which place in Florida?
We live in like by Fort. It's called Coral Springs, but it's by Fort Lauderdale.
Oh yeah, I do know.
Yeah, South Florida.
Yeah.
So big change of scenery across the whole United States, but it's beautiful. We love it, and everyone always complains about the weather, but I like it. It's always hot.
It's fine.
Yeah. You just go swimming.
Yeah, I mean the humidity sometimes is killing you, but you know what? Here as well.
Yeah. Just don't spend too much time outside then if you don't like it, because everywhere has AC. You just take a little break, go in the store for a little bit, and then you're refreshed.
Yeah. I love my years in Florida, man.
Yeah. You were in Tampa, right?
Yes, and in different places. We used to go to I remember having like spring breaks in Pensacola, in Key West, like going crazy.
I still haven't got to go to Key West yet. That's still a destination we need to do. We're going to do it after my last fight, but then we had the honeymoon right away. So maybe when I get back to the States, we're going to make that trip happen. So.
As a good place to go diving over there.
Yeah.
Scuba diving.
Or what about fishing? Is that big over there in the Key West?
It
has
is.
to be. Yeah. I'm
getting Florida and fishing.
Yeah. I'm getting into it, and so I never really used to eat seafood, right? Ever. That's not my thing, but I eat it now. But I was always like into wanting to catch fish, and I was like, if I catch a fish, I'm gonna eat my own kill. You know, you got to eat your own fish, and that's kind of how it kickstarted me to start eating fish a little bit more. Because before I only ate like sushi and like tuna and maybe crab and some octopus and calamari, and that's about it. I don't do fish, but now I do fish.
But you eat meat, right?
Yeah, I eat a lot of meat. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love steak and burgers and chicken, but I don't even eat chicken as much anymore. I like it, but I just like red meat. I really like a lot of red meat. Yeah.
Are you a carnivore, like close to carnivore, like, or no?
I've done it before. Yeah. But I do eat a lot of meat. But I do eat my potatoes and rice. I like my carbs, so and then vegetables and stuff. But if sometimes I'll just have a piece of steak and a salad, and that's it, for a nice big piece of steak and some salad. And then no carbs at night, just because I kind of like the way I feel not eating carbs at night. I wake up kind of, my stomach feels good. And my wife does it too. She doesn't like to eat a whole lot of carbs, and she says she feels a lot better. But if I'm going to have like obviously a hard training session or something, I'm going to stock up on some carbs for sure. But yeah, I've always feel better when I eat a nice piece of red meat and then a little bit some veggies, and that's it.
But when you, do you replace like fats instead of carbs? Do you do that?
I try to usually have a pretty balanced meal, but if I'm not gonna have any carbs, I will up the fat a little bit more. I'll put like a lot of butter on the steak or something, you know, make it really nice. And I definitely try to proportion it better. So if it's less carbs, I'll have more fat. But if it's a lot of carbs, I'll probably have less fat a little bit. Try to balance it out, make it just a balanced meal, as balanced as I can make it. Yeah. But I used to go keto sometimes. I like the way I feel, because the body feels like low inflammation. But obviously, I don't think it's the greatest for performance. So, you know, you got to find that balance.
Well, you know, you can try for a little bit, but after that, you feel like something's missing.
Yes.
Like you do one practice, double practice. If you have 2 workouts per day, you're going nuts in like after 3-4 days.
Oh, 100%.
You're going gas out in a way, you know.
But what I actually like to do sometimes, but not when I'm training. On a day where I'm not training, I like to do like a 24-hour fast or something, or maybe 36 hours. I always feel like it resets my body a little bit. Yeah. 36
hours?
Yeah. I'm going to try 48 after my trip in Greece, because I've been eating a lot of food here.
Eating what?
In Greece?
No. I mean, 36 hours eating nothing?
Nothing, just water. I'm going to do 48 hours next. What? 48 hours? Because there's a lot of science behind it that shows a lot of good benefits. When you starve yourself, you're actually you're starving some of your all the bad cells in your body, like cancer cells and things like that. You starve them, and your body reproduces new cells, which is really good for you. That's why people do the intermittent fasting a lot. Have you heard about that?
Of course.
Yeah. So they do that every day, so they get a little piece of it. But, you know, people have been doing maybe I've heard people do like 21-day fast or 10-day fast, 5-day fast. Yeah, all the time. And my friend, actually, one of my teammates at my gym, his mom had ovarian cancer and diabetes, and she did a 21-day fast. I'm not too sure the details on the fast, because 21 days is a long time, but I'm not sure if it's like a certain amount of calories or whatnot. But she did 21 days. She lost a bunch of weight, and she got rid of her ovarian cancer and her diabetes. And she thought it was just a sign from God, and she stopped seeing doctors, and she prays. And my friend was like, no, it's probably because of the fast. And then I looked in some research, and I was like, a lot of people are making claims. You look on YouTube of how the fasting has killed some of their cancer cells and reduced their tumors and their cancer and things like that. And also, like, cold water therapy does the same thing as well, very similar things. So I got into like the whole shocking your body kind of thing. You shock your system. It's actually a good thing for the body, because your body goes into survival mode and starts releasing good things, good cells in your body, and kind of heals itself. So it was very interesting to me. So I like to do things like that. So that's why I do it. Not because it's good, because of the benefits. You know, not because I enjoy not eating. I want to eat food for sure, and it's going to be challenging, but I like a good challenge.
Yeah. Well, obviously you do.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've heard about it numerous times that, you know what, if you do fasting for days, like the bad cells, your body is replacing the bad cells with good cells.
Exactly.
The only question I have is like, I mean, you can do that without working out. If you work out, it's impossible, you know, because you're eliminating all the energy. like you're gonna see the effects after. Like even if you have coffee or whatever, you cannot think right or exercise or do all the things that we like to do.
I made that mistake one time. I did a 24-hour, or I'll do my 36-hour fast, and I did because I ate heavy in the weekend. I did a double practice on Monday without eating. And I just remember feeling woozy and not good. I was like, okay, never again while I'm training.
Yeah, no, it's a bad way to end up in the hospital, man.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, I've tried. I used to do different things. I like to play with my body. I know how my body works very well through competitions, etc. I mean, I've pushed my body in many ways. I took my body one time to 2.7 in a competition for body fat.
Body fat 2.7.
2.7. I did a scan.
So that's
for a competition.
Like what kind of like a bodybuilding competition?
Like a men's physique.
I've done 2 of those.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I saw a comment one time. Do you know Arya?
Yeah. Or his brother Mike.
Yeah.
He used to train me strength conditioning. One of my good friends. Arya is one of my good friends too. Same city where Carla. I told you about
Dude,
Carla.
Say hi to Arya.
You know?
Listen, he was my coach.
No way.
Arya took me to a very teach me the way how to. I mean, he was with me in my first competitions, and then you know he was
online coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a small work because I saw your comment one day, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I actually did a show with him the same day. One of my shows. So I've done 2 physique shows, and I just
you did.
Yeah. I did one in Venice Beach. I got 2nd place, and then I did one. With him, amateur show, he got 1st place. I just did it for the pictures, you know.
Yeah.
But we did it together, and now, he's a really close family friend. I mean, friend of mine because his brother is one of my best friends.
Yeah, he lives in San Diego, right?
No, Redondo Beach.
Or maybe he moved.
Arya, no. I don't know if he moved, but he used to live in Redondo Beach when I was there, and then now I'm not sure if he moved or not.
That's a small world.
Yeah. But you see, he just took 1st in the Olympia. Olympia Masters. He got 1st place.
Yes. I saw like 3 weeks ago. He was so happy. He was like emotional.
For sure, because he worked so hard for that. Every year, he has been trying to place in the Olympia, the biggest show in the world.
The guy is a dog. Like he's super focused, and I copy like since 2015 in a good way. He sent me everything. He was like, you know what? You pay me to show you, and if you have the brains, you learn. Like you learn, and I learn my body, man. I learn how my body reacts, how my body works. I've challenged it. I mean, I took my body to survival mode many times, and I'm not suggesting this to anyone, but it's perfect. It's good if you know how your body works.
Yeah, you have to understand the body for sure, your own body especially. And because I've definitely throughout my years of making weight, cutting weight, now I understand my body. I know how much I can eat, and so I don't really like follow a plan anymore. Just because, for me, I understand my body now. Yeah. But now, obviously, if I'm doing a show, that's a different story. But yeah, as far as just making weight, I know what I can eat. I eat pretty much whatever I want. But I don't eat bad, obviously. Yeah. But if I want to have a day where I'm having burgers and some French fries, I can do that because it's all about balance and portions and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's good for people to try to challenge themselves and see how far they can push their bodies, because then you truly understand your body, you know?
Oh yeah, you do. And I love to challenge, like everything, like you said. I remember one time, Arya gave me a diet. It was like 2 weeks before the competition. So I had to go really low on fat. So I didn't have any fat. I had like 15 grams of peanut butter. So it was 15 grams of peanut butter. It's
small.
Like it's a tablespoon.
It's a tease.
So I took a toothpick and I sat the whole night and I was like, watching a movie with my wife. My wife's like chocolates and stuff. I mean, she's very respectful. She doesn't do crazy stuff. So, I won't say anything. I was like, you know what? I'm like super focused here. I live in a tunnel. I'm in my tunnel vision.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can eat a pizza, a burger, and fries, whatever you want to eat. I'm right here. So I did this, and it was so funny. You know, I was laughing.
Just to keep the taste for a longer period of time, right? Yeah.
Just to mess up with my brain that I'm having a cheat meal or something. You know. Say hi to Ari if you ever see him.
No,
man.
definitely.
Yeah.
I'll probably message him and be like, I just did a podcast out in Greece with him, and he was one of your students. And that's awesome.
He's more than welcome here if he ever comes to Greece. Brother, how did you start it? How did you start fighting?
It's actually a pretty unique story. So I didn't want to play football my senior year. So I had some friends who were on the wrestling team. And so they kind of, I just joined it so I can stop football. I had my 6th period. So instead of football 6th period, I did wrestling. I didn't even think about wrestling. I was just like, I just want to be, I need a new 6th period since I'm not on the football team anymore. So, okay, practice comes around. They put me with all the new people, and they put, the people who've been wrestling for a while.
Experience
over there, yeah. First, they say, okay, we're doing takedowns. Try to take people down. Okay. I double-legged this kid, and he tried to put his hand down, boom, snapped his wrist, and it fractured all the way up to his elbow. Boom, done. He was out for the season for sure. And then people were some of the kids came up to me like, why'd you do that? He's new, first time. I'm like, this is my first time too. But I was pretty athletic from playing football my whole life. So I ended up making the varsity team, and then just that year alone, I ended up taking the MVP trophy of the school that year because I ended up having a pretty good season. But towards the end, I kind of slacked off a little bit because I was in the party mode with girls and things like that. So anyway, so I had some friends on the wrestling team. One day we were watching some fights. I think it was like Vanderlei Silva versus Chuck Liddell. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this is like a street fight kind of, this is street fighting. And I knew about the Ultimate Fighting Championship, like the old days, a little bit. And we watched like BJ Penn and Sean Shirk, back in the day. So I didn't really see what jiu-jitsu was. I didn't know much about jiu-jitsu still. I didn't even know what jiu-jitsu was. I just knew there's wrestling, there's grappling, and there's striking, like a street fight, knees, elbows, all that. So I'm like, whoa, what is this? So me and my friends, we had an idea, we had a key to the wrestling room. So at like midnight one day, we went to the wrestling room and we got some people who wanted to do like a fight night. So we bought some UFC gloves from like, Big Five, the Sports Mart. And we go into the wrestling room and we just match people up to fight. And nobody was able to fight with me because I was a little bigger than some of the guys. But then nobody can fight with my friend Robert because he weighed 265 pounds. So that's about maybe 40 kilos more than me. So he has these kilos over here. So he was a big guy, 100 pounds. And he's like, nobody will fight him, nobody will fight me. So they matched us together. So it was like the old Ultimate Fighting Championship where there's the bigger guys and smaller guys. But we ended up fighting, and I knocked him out. And he was my friend, So it was like
out cold.
Not out cold. So we were scrapping. He kept trying to take me down because he was a wrestler too. Yeah. And he kept trying to take me down. If he took me down, it would have been bad. But we had the whole wrestling mat. So I'm like running, trying to get away, and I'm just hitting him. And then they eventually stand us back up because he was like holding a single leg. I just kept hitting him in the head, and he was just holding. So my friends, they stood us up, and he came at me, and I just threw the combination. I hit him with my left, and he just fell, boom. Oh. And we're just kind of looking at me. So he was like out, but like kind of still there a little bit. And they stopped it because his parents told him not to do it. And now he had the busted lip. So anyway, it was a weird car ride home, awkward. But the primal feeling that I felt from that, it was a feeling I never felt. Because I've gotten street fights before, but just that whole experience, just being nervous before it started and, knocking somebody out, I was just like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And then I saw The Ultimate Fighter, and I was like, I can maybe try out for this show. So I joined a gym. I went to the gym, and I was like, hey, I want to fight. And they said, well, you have to, do jiu-jitsu, this, that. So my first day of jiu-jitsu class, I'm rolling with somebody, and I'm thinking I'm winning because I'm wrestling him, but then he puts me in a triangle. And I'm like, I tap out, and he's like, I just, right there, like, this guy just choked me out with his legs. I still didn't know what jiu-jitsu was, and I was just so blown away at what he just did to me. I fell in love, and from there, I just kept training, and, 1 year later, I went pro. And that's it. Yeah, I started fighting when I was 20 years old, my first professional fight. It was right out of kind of high school.
You went pro 1 year later?
Yeah. Yeah, because they didn't really have amateur. I did they had they called them smokers. It's like somebody's gym. They host fights at somebody's gym.
Oh, yeah.
And so I did like 2 or 3 of those, one Muay Thai one and 2 MMA. And then they were like, you want to go pro? And I was like, okay. So yeah, from 19, I started training MMA. I wrestled in high school senior year. And then I did a little bit of jiu-jitsu for about a year. And then I went pro. Yeah.
And when you went pro, like, did you go to Cage War? What did you do?
It was called Respect in the Cage. There was an organization in Pomona by where I lived in California. And one of the girls that was at the gym I was at, she knew the promoter. So they was like, hey, we have a guy that wants to fight. And yeah, I fought 2 times for them. And then my 3rd fight, they offered me a title fight. And then I had a huge knockout win for the title. And then my 4th fight, I fought Joe Camacho. Joe Camacho had over 30 fights. This is my 4th fight. I'm only been trained. I'm 21 years old. I'm young. He's like 38 years old, you know, and I did a 5-minute rounds, and I beat him in a decision. All 5 rounds I won. I just kept taking him down. He was like a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I was nervous, but I ended up beating him. And then after I beat him, I knew like, okay, this is something I can do for. We'll see how far I can take this, you know. So yeah, it just kind of steamrolled from there. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. Just a young kid trying to find my place, you know.
What did your parents say? Like when you said, you know what, I'm just gonna go for a living with this one.
Well, at first it started off as a hobby because my dad, he came to my competitions because I did a couple of jiu-jitsu competitions and he would come. I did the smokers that were in the gym. He came to that. So it started off as a hobby. And then I had told him I was having my first professional fight. He came, and he was just always supportive about it. My mom, she didn't want me to do it. She always was nervous. She's never seen me fight live, ever. I
understand that.
Over 30 fights, and she never came once. So, but it's all right. I get it. She's scared. She's nervous. But they for the most part, they've been supportive. And thankfully, we had a restaurant, so I always had a job. I was working as I was training all the time. You know, I would wake up at 8 a.m. I train at 8 a.m. from 8 to 10, go to the restaurant from 12 to 10. And then after I get off, I'll go home and then go to the gym till about like 1 in the morning and do some lifting. And that's how my schedule was every day. So it was like train, work, train, sleep, do it again.
Repeat.
Yeah.
Is it a Greek restaurant?
It was like a diner, American diner, but we had a couple Greek options like you know, the gyros and Greek salads and stuff like that. And that's about it. It was like burgers. It was a burger joint mostly. Yeah. And I loved it. It was awesome, but it was stressful. But as soon as I got signed, like I kept fighting all the way up until I got signed with the UFC in 2014, and then I quit, and then I ended up getting cut from the UFC, and then I re-signed, but during COVID, when COVID happened, my dad needed help at the restaurant. So I thought, maybe I'll just learn to take the restaurant over. So I was learning the business and how to take it over and whatnot. And then I ended up just doing pretty good with some fights in the UFC. And I told my dad, hey, I can't do this. I'm going to go to Florida. And then he's ended up selling the restaurant. Oh. Yeah. Okay. We had it for about 15 years. You know, me and my brother, we worked a lot of it. But then my brother got hired as a firefighter. So my dad couldn't do it alone anymore. And since he wasn't going to give it to me, he was like, I'm selling it. And I was like, all right. Now he's retired. Yeah. But I think that's the only thing that kept me good is I always had to at least have a job, so I was able to fight. I didn't put everything into fighting right away. So
you had a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly. I had a backup plan. I think that's smart. I think most fighters should have a backup plan because, you know, fighting's it's not your best friend. It's hard. You have to love it in order to do it because you're gonna have a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and a lot of people have more downs than ups sometimes, and it's very sad. And it's because I've seen some of the best guys in the gym thinking they're gonna, you know, go big, and just they can't put it together under the lights. And so I think it's very smart to always have a backup plan. You know,
even if you get big, brother, like even if you get big, you need to always have a backup plan. I mean, I'm a big supporter of like giving everything to your plan, focus your plan, 100%, tunnel vision. You know. Do everything because that's your dream. That's what you're fighting for. Everyone's against you, but have something in the back. Like if this doesn't go well, if this goes sideways, I need to have something. That's a smart move. Because I have a lot of fighters here. Like I've done like a lot of guys from different like Olympic athletes from all taekwondo, judo, Brazilian, MMA, any guys, and everyone's giving everything. But there's an issue. Like even if you go well, you need to have something because that day that thing is gonna go over.
Yeah.
Like what do you do at the age of 33, 35? Are you gonna be a teacher teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Maybe. But if this is your plan, have a plan.
Exactly. Yeah. I always thought about it as, what if I blow my knee out? Thankfully, I never have. But I was like, I always thought, like, what if I blow my knee out? You know, I need to have something in the back pocket because if I can't fight, then what am I gonna do? So, thankfully, I had the restaurant. But now, when I went to Florida, I got a little bored, so I picked up a little job teaching some cardio kickboxing classes just to make a little extra cash on the side when I'm not fighting, you know. But I finally quit that, and this is my first time in my life. This past year is my first time that I'm a full-time fighter, and thankfully I'm in a position where I can do that right now, you know. So, it was a lot of years of, you know, saving and having my backup plans and all that. So, thankfully everything worked out. But you know, I'm you know one of the exceptions because I've seen many people just put everything they have into it and it doesn't work out, and it's like it's very crushing. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah, I think if anybody wants to be a fighter, take it from me. Always have a backup plan. It's okay to put everything into it, but just at least have some type of plan, or at least have a side job where you're making some money. Because sometimes you don't fight for 6-7 months, you know, and you got to pay bills. So it's tough.
Yeah, maybe a new COVID comes, and maybe, you know, things happen.
I think the new COVID is coming.
I think so too. Different than the last one, but you know, I think it's coming. Anyhow, you know, another thing that I see is that, and a lot of guys tell me this, you know, the 15 minutes of a UFC fight or a fight, 5 minutes each round, it's the easy part in a way. Like you have 365 days that you're fighting with everything, struggle. Like, you know what, my knee hurts, this one, I broke up with my girlfriend, I lost my other job, my sponsor left me, I lost. I have to figure out how to manage the loss in front of 20,000 people in Madison Square Garden, plus how many millions watching me right now, and like keyboard warriors saying that, you know what, this guy is screwed, you know, he's nothing, he's done, he's over, you know. So the 5 minutes of a round is the easy part in a way. You know what I mean? That's what everyone's doing.
Yeah, definitely. Fighting is that's the easy part. I mean, the hardest part about fighting is just controlling it mentally, I would say. But the hardest part of being a fighter is training every single day. I have more wars in the gym than I ever do in the fights. You know what I mean? I've had crazy wars in the gym, and in the fights, it's never as hard as it is in the gym. You know, it's hard more mentally hard, but physically, training in the gym is way harder. You know, you go in, you're tired, you're sore from previous practices.
Plus, everyone wants to kill Christos Giagos because, you know what, I have this in a video, I kick his arms, I kick his ass.
Especially like the younger guys, you know, if they know you fight in the UFC, they want to prove themselves. So you got them, the young bucks coming at you hard, and there's some good young guys out there, man. I mean, I just lost to a young buck, so you know, there's some talented people coming out. You know, people are training younger and younger now, so MMA is just only getting bigger and bigger, and
it's changing.
Yeah, it's changing a lot, and to the good. I remember, you know, look at Royce Gracie, you know, he submitted everybody, had the most submissions in UFC history, and then now Charles Oliveira just beat that while everybody knows jiu-jitsu now, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. I think jiu-jitsu, everyone's learning, and I think it's a lot harder to get submissions now, you know? You see less and less of them, I feel like, but it's I think eventually it's going to get neutralized where everybody's going to be good, and it's going to be, I think you'll see a lot more knockouts in the future.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you're seeing that a little more now. I feel like there's a lot more people are staying on the feet a lot more. People are learning how to not get taken down, take down defense. It's the only wrestlers you're seeing succeed right now are the Russian wrestlers, you know.
As a whole different level?
Yeah, you know, they have a unique style. They like to use the cage. They use like cage jiu-jitsu. It's weird. They use the cage with their jiu-jitsu as their advantage. It's very interesting.
They want to take it to the corner.
Yeah.
Like they don't do the wrestling thing in the middle of the ring.
No. You don't see a whole lot of takedowns happening in the middle of the ring with the Russians. You see them punch, boom, go against the cage, and they'll take you off, and they're putting pressure like this way against the cage, and they use the cage for their jiu-jitsu benefits. And it's very interesting, you know, like Islam and Khabib, and I want to watch a little bit more of the fights and kind of see how they do things. It's very interesting.
It is, and actually right now I've been following some guys in the Instagram that are like kind of, I think they're coaches, and they're explaining how this Russian school is working. Like they have the names right now, like this is a Dagestan drop, like, you know.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and the way that they describe this in one word is pressure. Pressure. I'm not gonna submit you. Yeah. When you're calm, I'm just gonna put pressure on you. So you just you kind of like asking me.
Yeah, to submit you. Yeah,
like
they get them to panic a little bit, you know.
Like
overwhelm them with the pressure until they just like, okay, take it, you know. Like
Khabib used to work like that. I mean, he did that with Conor, and we did that with Barbosa. He did that with Johnson. He did that with Gaethje.
Yeah. Pressure. No, that's interesting.
And I saw Islam trying to do it with Alex Volkanovski. But it didn't work that well.
Not as well. Well, man, Alex, I feel like gave a lot of hope to the lightweight division, you know, showing that he can go up a weight class and put on a performance like that with apparently the best, grappler in the division right now. And
dude's a lion.
Yeah. Volkanovski, I don't know. Unless I don't see him losing the 45-pound belt unless, like, you know, he just gets a little older and eventually gets out. But yeah, who's gonna beat him right now? The 45-pound division. Well, he did the Yair. I was just like, I thought Yair had a chance because of his length and stuff, but I was like,
his cardio is from another planet.
Yeah. And he's just a hard worker, you know.
Yeah, it is.
I like his attitude. You know, he gets up early for discipline reasons, and he's a very focused individual, and that's somebody who gives 110% to everything he does, and very motivating for sure.
I love that. You know what? Because it's like I was not supposed to be here. I have short arms, but I still can go inside. I can break the distance. I can break even the distance of any athlete. Because you know what? I'm doing my best for this.
Yeah.
I was not supposed to be here. I end up being here because I used to play football. I used to be like 250 pounds.
You?
No.
Oh yeah.
He used to play rugby.
Yeah, rugby. That's right. He fought at 185.
Yeah.
He fought at 185, 170, and 55 and 45. Yeah, he fought. He was a big dude.
Yeah, he was. So, So okay, how did you sign the first time with the UFC? How was that story?
I was 6. Well, I was 6-1, and then I remember finally because I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter when I was 4-0. And then I made it pretty far. I made it all the way through the interviews. They called me back to Vegas. And then I ended up not making the final cut. The final 32 they chose to go in the house. I didn't make it. So I was like, all right. And I ended up losing the fight, my first fight after that I try out anyway. So I beat another guy 5-1, and I beat one of the guys from that season I tried out. And then I became 6-1 as a fighter. So I beat a UFC veteran because he fought Chris Tickle. He fought on the finale, a real UFC fight. He was on the show and he fought in the UFC. So it was my first UFC veteran, and I knew if I beat him, this would get me closer to UFC. So I ended up beating him, choking him out in the second round, and then I was gonna fight for the Tachi Palace title. If I win this belt, I know that it's a good shot to go to the UFC because a bunch of guys who win that belt go to the UFC. Uriah Faber it's a Indian reservation by Sacramento by Uriah Faber and all that. And the guy I'm fighting, he used to train with Uriah Faber, has a really good guillotine. Anyway, but that's it. I should have smashed this guy, but he ends up catching me in a guillotine. And I was so crushed. I wanted to quit fighting, right? But I was like, I was with my management at the time. He's like, don't worry, I'm not worried about it. We'll get you. Boom, boom, boom. Don't worry. I do 2 fights. He gave me some two good fights. I win. Then I fight for the Tachi Palace title again against Savak Magakian, another Ultimate Fighter guy. I end up triangle choking him in the first round. I took that fight 1 week's notice, actually.
No.
Yeah, because he was supposed to fight for somebody else, but the guy got hurt. And so my manager called me, hey, we got a title fight, Tachi Palace. I was like, and I just broke up with my wife at the time. We're still together, but at the time we were going through a little hard time. And I was just angry. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do the fight. Let's do it. So I choke him out in the first round. Boom, great. Then I get an offer to fight Dakota Cochran for the RFA, they're LFA now, but the RFA title. So 2 back-to-back titles. I was like, okay. I thought I was going to get signed after the first title, but all right, let's do it. I'm the big 3-1 underdog. Main event, the first sanctioned fights ever to be held in South Dakota in the States. Now they do them in South Dakota all the time because it used to be illegal there, MMA. But it was the first time they're hosting a show. So I'm the main event. I'm excited. I knew if I win this fight, I'm going to the UFC for sure. There's no doubt about it. But I'm nervous. His crowd is there because he's from Nebraska, close by. I was walking out with my Spartan gear, the Spartan helmet, Spartan cape. Everyone's booing me. I'm like, oh, man, here we go. And I ended up having one of the best knockouts I've ever had. I had a flying knee knockout in the second round. And I ended up getting the Athlete of the Night award. It was huge. And, right after that, maybe a couple weeks later, I get the call saying, hey, you want to fight in Brazil? Gilbert Burns. My first fight in the UFC. I fight Gilbert Burns.
I remember that.
So that was my little journey up. But I remember losing to that guillotine, man. I wanted to quit, but it just shows if you want something, you're gonna have some setbacks. But as long as you keep pushing, you'll find your time. You know what I mean? Or at least something along that path. Just keep trying, because I got signed with the UFC and then I got cut. But I didn't get cut for doing anything like losing multiple fights in a row. I lost my first fight. I won my second fight, first round submission. Again, back to Brazil. Went to Brazil back to back. And then I fight Chris Wade. We had a great fight, very close fight. I had some people thinking I won that fight, but I ended up losing the decision. The UFC re-signs me for a new contract. 6 months I'm on there. Then Reebok, they do the deal with Reebok and they sell the UFC, and all the new changes are happening. They cut like 150 fighters. Yeah. And I was one of those guys that got cut. And they even like paid me for the new fight. I didn't even have to fight. They paid me my show money because they felt bad of like, it's just something they had to do. And I'm just like, man, I worked so hard to get here. And then I fight Josh Emmett. Right after that, I get cut. We got fight of the year for some local show in Sacramento. Crazy good fight. But anyway, I lose that fight, and I'm like, I'm done. Forget it. But I had so many friends and family. No, don't give up. Don't give up. You can do this. And having the support of my friends and family, for them to like see, lose 2 fights in a row. I already got cut from the UFC. I'm thinking there's no way. It's hard to get there. It's hard to get there the second time. You know what I mean? So, but they just, no, don't. This is your passion. This is your dream. Just do it. Just stick with it. All right, we'll try another shot. So I end up taking a tough fight against Karan Darabedian. He fought for the WEC, good black belt jiu-jitsu, and then it was gonna be for the RFA again. And Dana White was there for his show, looking for a fight. And I just remember, man, if this fight don't go good, I don't know what's going to happen. But I ended up having a huge knockout. Dana White saw it. He gave me some props on the TV and stuff. And he said, verbatim, this kid used to be in the UFC, and now he looks like he belongs back in the UFC. Oh. But guess what? I didn't get signed. I end up just fighting really tough guys. I do a main event. I win that. Then I fight a guy 15-1. I beat him. For ACB, and I thought I was going to get signed again, nothing. And then I go to Russia to fight Shamil for ACB again. I lost a split decision, but, in Russia, it's a little controversy. So thankfully it was a split because they used that. And then I go and I would fight this other kid. I win, and then thankfully I won 4 out of 5, but the one I lost was a split. It was very close. I dropped in first and third round. I don't know how I lost that fight, but thankfully my manager pushed, and we got back in the UFC. That's when I fought Charles Oliveira back in Brazil. Every time I get signed with the UFC, they send me to Brazil.
For some reason that I just want to throw you to the lions, huh?
Yeah, it's all right though. I like that, you know. I like, because for me it's a big test. Throw me to the wolves, you know. I never say no to fights. I always take tough fights, and that's just who I am. I'm a Spartan. I don't back down.
That's good. That's a good attitude, man. Actually, even fighting in Russia, man.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do it. So ACB, they kind of did me dirty. So I fight the guy, Alexander Pimentel. He was 15-1. Only guy he lost to was the guy in the UFC. And after I beat him, they offered me a contract for, $10,000 a fight, $10,000 a win. And at the time, that's like what the UFC was paying guys. So I was like, fine, I can do that. But I thought the UFC was going to call again because I just won 3 in a row, all great guys I beat. And so I said no to them. And then I ended up getting shoulder surgery. I recover. Nothing with UFC was biting. So I told my management, I was like, hey, okay, I'll sign with them. So he tried to sign me with them, and then now they're offering me 6 and 6. That's $4,000 to $8,000 cheaper. I'm like, man. I was like, okay, well then I'll do it, but I don't want to go to Russia. First fight, Russia, Shamil, oh my, undefeated guy. Oh my God. All right, well at least I just always change my mind. All right, well I'll have my own Rocky moment because I was a big Rocky fan. So while I was training, I'm always listening to Rocky music, his theme song all while I'm going for runs.
Drago!
Yeah. So it was cool. I was just like, whatever, For me, it's a story. People are like, I'm not going to go to Russia and fight. But for me, I was like, look, I get to say that now. I get to tell people I had a war. And, the Russians screwed me, but it's cool. I had a great war. I broke the kid's orbital. But he's my teammate now. He trains in Florida, with us.
And the USA
at Kill Cliff FC, yeah. He's one of Gilbert Burns' good friends, and so I trained with Gilbert, Shamil, Sean, and then Alexander Pimentel. He was a part of the Black Zillions, so we're like what the Black Zillions used to be. It's the same people there, the same coaches. It's just the Black. There was other stuff, I guess. I was before I was there. I don't know too much, but so he was a part of Black Zillions. So I fought 4 guys from that gym, but. Now they're all cool guys. They're really cool.
As a small world, again.
Yeah.
Like you're fighting somebody and you think that that's the worst enemy you ever had in your life. And then one day, life is like, you know what? I'm just going to throw the guy next to you and train with him.
Yeah. Hey, I think everybody on the team has something they offer and is good, And the thing I like about fighting the most is the respect afterwards, Yeah. Because obviously you guys don't like each other until, boom, you fight, then you become cool.
Yeah.
Friends. And, that happens in school, too. I remember being in school, getting in a fight with somebody, and after you fight, there's like this sense of respect you have for each other. You guys did it. You handle your business.
Yeah.
The feud should be done.
And actually, you know what? Like, it's like the person you see against you is your alter ego.
Yeah.
It's your nemesis. But basically, I've heard this one time. It's kind of weird. You kind of you want to thank him for being there because he's there. They try to find a fighter for you or the opposite. Mm-hmm. So basically, you guys is 50-50. Like I'm thankful because the Muay Thai guys have this one. Like in Thailand, cause they have this respect each other. Like. They kill each other, and then you see that a lot. Because, you know what? This fight will not happen if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
So in the UFC as well, you see a lot of trash talk. But you know what? If you are like a 100% guy who understands how fights works, you do know there's no real beef. I mean, sometimes it is.
But it's mostly just hype, I mean,
the Child.
Sell the fight.
I mean, Child was like the master.
Oh, I love Child.
I love him. Like I could hear Child talk the whole day.
Oh yeah.
Especially with Wanderlei Silva. When you said before, dude, I remember it was like the Ultimate Fight. That was
in Brazil. They did Ultimate Fighter Brazil. I think it was.
Yeah, but it was on. You remember Spike TV?
Yeah.
Is there still Spike TV? In the States?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I don't watch cable no more.
Yeah, but it was a time that the
I remember Spike TV
was on
because
I remember it was like, what the hell was this? This is like a cage. Everyone's like calling each other, like, yeah, this guy's fighting, you know. So a child started this trash talking. Michael Bisping was like a fan of, like, you know.
The trash talking.
And then Conor took the thing and when, you know,
huge with it. Chael's the one that started it all, though. He made the UFC like. He started turning the UFC into the entertainment business a little bit more because, man, the stuff he was saying, Chael's the man. With Anderson Silva, then with Vanderlei, just every fight after that, he just talks, and it's the best.
John Jones, I remember they were like sitting next to it, and John was like much younger that time.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that confidence. I mean, he was a confident kid for sure, but Chai, on the other hand, it was like, you know, he's trash talking him the whole time, like giving him hell. Yeah.
John Jones. Yeah. But, you know, it's a good way. I think, you know, it works for some people. They can get into their head, you know, because when Conor, he was one of the best to do it, you know, at the time. And Jose Aldo folded.
Everyone's like going in that example.
Yeah, it's true because like they fight Conor, then they feel the pressure, and that kind of pressure, man, if you can't handle it, it's gonna eat you alive, you know. So, and Conor was great at it. He was great at doing it, and until, you know, he fought. I think the Nate was a fluke. The Nate fight was a fluke, but when obviously that kind of pressure is not gonna work with somebody like Khabib or Islam.
Or Dustin Poirier.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but I think when he came back, he was hurting himself at that point, you know. It wasn't this.
It doesn't work that.
Once you have that much money, you've done everything you wanted to do. It's hard to keep that same drive.
He ended up the game, man.
Because I think Conor's biggest thing was he wanted to be the most famous guy, the richest guy, and he accomplished that. Yeah. I don't think. I mean, he wanted to be. He got the double champion. That was his goal. And once he got that, I feel like it was just.
It was a game over, but he ended up the game. He ended up the game. Like, what I want to say is, like, he did everything by that time. And, you know, I know you say you're a Rocky fan. If you remember Rocky 3, the words that Sylvester Stallone used for Mickey, he said, "You got civilized."
Yeah.
And the boxer got civilized. And you know who said those words? Cus D'Amato, Mike Tyson's coach.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, he said that a fight, worst thing for a boxer or a fighter is to get civilized. Once you get civilized, because you know all the other guys, they want to choke you, they want to eat you alive, man. They want what you have.
Yeah.
I mean, Nate Diaz will not be in the same position today. I think maybe Nick Diaz will be a much bigger name if he didn't fight Conor, which was a 1 week notice.
Yeah, and he beat him.
Everyone learned Nate Diaz the next day.
Yeah, that was his rise to fame. After that, and then he said, "I'm not surprised, motherfuckers." I don't know if you cuss on this thing, but
exactly.
But what's it called? Yeah, after that, I mean, everyone who Conor fights after that was just
Khabib,
big names.
Khabib is in the top 5 ever, just because not only he's undisputed, he didn't lost, but because he fought Conor.
Yeah.
And the way he ended
up. Dominated. And then he dropped him, too, on the feet. Nobody thought that was going to happen. It was crazy, man.
That was a crazy fight. Crazy stare. Crazy wait 1 day before the fight.
All the commotion and stuff?
No, 1 day before on the weight scale. When they weighed and like the... No, 1 day before the fight. Conor and Khabib.
Yeah.
When they...
that's not when Conor threw the chairs in that was a different fight. Yeah.
No. That was 1 day before the fight that Conor lost. The stare down.
Oh yeah, the stare down.
He was like, you know, trying to mess up with him, kicking him. You know.
Yeah. He couldn't break. He was just like, But those Russians, man, they have a different type of mentality. You know what I mean? Some of the strongest guys out there for sure.
Yeah.
Big fan.
But their brain is way different than other cultures.
Yeah. They're like animals. They're not animals, but like their minds are like they're lions. You know, they're like bears.
I don't have anything to lose.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
even if I die, I don't have anything to lose. You know what? It's a big thing to believe that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to the second sign of the UFC. How did you manage that? Like when you had a second chance, what was your plan?
I just felt like I was a little bit wiser and able to make smarter decisions, and I was channeling the pressure a lot better. You know, because I feel like I've been there already. This is my second chance. So I mean, obviously I fought Charles Oliveira, and it was a great fight, and I beat him in the first round. All the judges had me win the first round, but then he ended up choking me out in the second. But you know, hats off to him. He's a great fighter. But after that fight, I won 2 in a row. I actually won 4 out of my next 5 after that fight, because I was just I knew how much better I've gotten, and I just wanted to show everybody, and I just had a lot to prove after being my second time in UFC. So, but yeah, I think it was just for me being smarter, making better decisions, and just being a little bit wiser as a person. Because I got signed, when I first got signed, I was 24 years old, and then the second time I got signed, I was 28, a little bit older. I made a lot of mistakes early on in my career, so yeah, it was just I just feel like it was just making better decisions, training with better people. Because before I was at a gym where I was the best guy at the gym, you know, there was nobody there to push me so hard when I first got signed. And so I made the adjustments. I joined a better gym. I joined this gym called Black House. You know, there's a lot more guys in UFC. So I feel like that helped me grow to the next level and just get better. And I needed that push. I needed people to push me a little bit more, you know. And then I ended up outgrowing that gym a little bit, at least for my weight class. So there's the guys in the UFC was like heavier guys. So I made another transition to a different gym, and then I did another 2 fights in a row. Well, yeah, that's when I won. I won 4 out of 5. I lost to Jakar Close. You know who that is? Jakar Close. He's a pretty decent fighter in the UFC, the top contender, but we had a really good war. I thought we were going to get fight of the night, but they gave it to Paulo Costa and Yoel Romero.
Oh,
yeah.
Fight.
But it was a great fight, bloody fight. Lost a close decision again. Some people thought I could have won that one too, but it was just very close. But yeah, and then I make the move to Florida. This is where things get a little rocky, because I make the move to Florida. I'm up, 4 of my last 5 fights. They give me a guy in the top 15, Arman Sarukian.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to take that fight. It's a very tough fight. I knew he was a tough fighter, and but I don't want to take it because I was moving. I didn't even join the gym, my new gym yet, So, but they offered me more money. I was getting married, and like a couple months after that, they offered me the fight, and I was like, all right, let's do it. A Spartan, I'll take it, whatever. So I didn't even know who was going to corner me. I joined this new gym, and I just remember this fight. It was the most mental struggle I've had in any other fight, because I don't know any of these guys I'm training with. I'm used to having coaches who are like, helping me and telling me what I need to improve on. I didn't know who was going to corner me. The coaches have too many guys there to give you anybody attention, really, unless you have a fight coming up. But so I just remember being fight week. I was just like, man, this feels weird. I don't know if I had a good camp or not. I don't know what it was. It was very weird. So obviously that fight didn't go so well. And then things started getting a little better. I started meeting a little bit more people, and then I feel a little more comfortable. But then I go in another fight and end up losing that one, but just making a stupid mistake. So now I'm getting worried. I'm like, was this move the right choice? But then I was like, nah. I'm going with some of the best guys in the world at this gym. But in the beginning, I was like, it was a lot of good guys. So I was trying to just survive. I wasn't trying to like win rounds in the gym. I was just trying to make it through practice, because everybody's so talented. So I changed my mentality. I started going into the gym. I'm going to start trying to win rounds. I'm going to start trying to take over. So I start really trying to push myself. I start having a different mindset. I want to win every round I go with. So
like a more attacking attitude?
Yeah, exactly. I want to be more I just want to make sure I'm winning rounds. Yeah. I'm submitting people. I don't want to give anything up. And then I took that into my fight after, and I freaking had a first round KO and my first knockout in the UFC, which was nice. I have a lot of knockouts, but it was my first knockout with the UFC. And I just feel like my mindset now is a lot different. And it's I feel like I did this, and then the further move made me do this a little bit down, and then now I'm on my way back up.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, I've been following your career because once I heard your name, I was like, this guy. At the beginning, I was like, maybe he's like Cypriot something because Giagos.
Yeah.
We have this in Cyprus. They don't have this in Greece.
Giagos.
Giagos,
My uncle just told me how to say it properly.
Giagos.
Giagos. I'll tell you a funny story about that later, but go ahead.
I've been following your career. A friend of mine, actually, Vagelis, he was like, you need to see this guy, you know. So I've been on and off watching you. And I think that right now, you can drop this if you want. I mean, it's just my,
no,
you know,
it's all right.
I think you're in a place right now that is, you got something that is was missing, and it's the mature, or I mean, you might be mature before, you know, I'm not, you know.
No,
it's
I agree.
You're more stable right now. And it's not the age of 30, but it's the place that you are right now. I think you're like more stable to choose wisely. Because before, you used to be like a hungry lion. You know what? Whatever it is, if they call him Burns or Khabib or in Russia or in India, I'm just going to go because I'm a Spartan. Which is not bad. This is what you wanted, and maybe that's what ended up getting you where you were when you are today. But I think right now, you're more wisely to choose. And that is not outside only on the game. It's inside the game also as well. You know, I'm just going to choose my plan inside the game. That's what I'm getting from you. Not from today, but from lately, what I've been, since I've been following you. But, you know, you might want to drop this one.
No, I agree. I think a lot of it, too, has to do with my, so going to that new gym and training with such high-level people all the time, it gave me a new sense of confidence, you know, because before, when I was in California, I was training with some UFC guys, but not as many as I'm now, you know, or like Bellator or whatever. You know, there was a handful, but a lot of the guys were like just trying to get to where, you know, get to the UFC.
Yeah.
And so I was confident, you know, I knew I was good, but obviously I still gave the people in the UFC too much credit. You know, I hold them too high on a pedestal. And that can mess with your head a lot of times, you know. But being at this new gym and everybody you go with is such high level, and then seeing how good I'm doing with these guys, you know, and it gave me a new level of confidence that I don't want to give these guys too much credit no more, because now I get to train with these guys every single day. They're just regular people. They're just normal, just like me and you. You know what I mean? They're just people, and I feel like that's what's helped me carry myself a lot better now. And like, even though my last fight didn't go my way, it was a great performance. I don't know if you got to see it. You know, I heard him. I did. And perfect first round, flawless. You know, I had a great first round. Everyone thought his range was going to be a problem for me. I was able to get in, manage the distance well. And then obviously I had a little bit of a mental block the second round. And I know how to fix that, and once I fix that, I feel like I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I'm sure
you will. So,
well, you look like a guy who knows what he's doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I feel like I'm in a lot more control. I have a lot more control of my destiny now a little bit. Before I was just kind of winging it a lot, just going with the flow. Now I feel like I'm in more control.
Yeah, and that's gonna help you a lot in your decisions. And you know, life is about decisions, everyday decisions, small, big ones. You know, but even a lot small decisions can affect your life.
Absolutely.
And I think that the way you're gonna move on in your career right now, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a good rise up. I mean, I'm not telling everyone that, because people might be like, how do you know he's gonna win? I'm not talking about winning. I'm talking about decisions.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like that. Man, I forget the quote he said. Do you know Phil Rowe? He fights in UFC 170.
Right now?
Yeah. This kid, Phil something, I forget it. Phil Rowe. Anyway, my coach posted something that he said, and it was really cool. He was just saying that, like, I forget it. Basically, in long story short, he was just saying, you know, listen, like, when you fight, you're gonna win, you're gonna lose. If you know, when you lose, if you keep at it, you're gonna end up winning. If you win, you're gonna end up losing. Even if you're undefeated, you're gonna end up losing at some point. You know, so just remember to, you know, have fun with the journey. Thank your coaches, and it was along those lines he said it, and it was a really good quote. And I was like, man, he hit that spot on, because, you know, it's not always about winning and losing. A lot of people think it is, but it's about enjoying the process and just and always challenging yourself. And then you're always gonna have little wins when you keep pushing forward. And it's all about just those little accomplishments of after challenging yourself that makes everything so worth it. You know.
Yeah, you know, I've met people who've been winning, and they were like miserable.
Yeah.
And I've seen people that they were like in the middle or losing, and they were much better than it. It's all about you.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a fight that it doesn't appear at the beginning of your career, but it's a fight that you have to do every single day. And if you fix that thing, if that trauma, for some guys it's a huge trauma. Oh my God, what the people are gonna think about me, or what my parents, or my friends, or with other fighters. But if you don't fix that thing, it's gonna carry, man, for the whole life. So you gotta fix it. I had a guy, he fights in the One Championship right now in Thailand. His name is Angelos. It's like an angel in English. Angelos. Giagos, yes. And he's fighting with a lot of good Muay Thai guys. I mean, and you know, you've seen the Muay Thai guys. You know, they're like vicious, you know. And he's over there standing on his feet and doing his best. He went over there with like $100 in his pocket and gave everything. Actually, he went over there in the COVID period.
Okay.
So it was much, much worse. So anyhow, this guy,
he moved to Thailand?
Yeah, he moved to Thailand. He's over there right now. He's super happy. But when we discuss, like he was at the podcast, he was like, you know what? I had to go to a psychologist and learn about my defeats, how to accept them.
Yeah.
And the psychologist was like, you know what? He was an athletic psychologist, actually. I met him and I did a podcast with him as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he was like, you know, if you're a basketball player, and this is for all the athletes, if you focus, like let's say that you have your last shot, all right, and everything depends on you, like the title, the NBA finals.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you focus on, oh my God, what the people are going to say? Oh my God, what if I lost? Oh my God, what if it doesn't go in? But you know what? You're just focusing on outside and you're focusing on the future.
Yeah, you're time traveling. They call it time traveling.
Exactly. What you need to do is that...
Focus on the now, right?
Yeah, you just touch that ball, do the move that they do to, you know, have a better grab, like in the basketball.
Yeah,
you do that, boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, and do like, and that's it. You do your best. If it goes in, it went in. You know,
that's really cool. So a psychologist said that. I was doing some. My friend sent me some clips after my fight because I was doing that a lot, and I did it a lot in practice. You know, and I'll go a little more into that. So they say when you're athletes, when they're performing, whatever sport it is, you can't fast forward or go to the past. You can't like, oh, I lost last time, or I hope I have a better performance, or you know, I hope I win. I wonder how the fight's gonna go, and you're thinking outside, you know, and that's the distraction that you don't need in your head. And there's methods to get through that. So they say what you want to do. You don't want to time travel. You want to, if anything, focus on like a piece on your glove, and just focus on that and learn to be in the now, and focus on being in the now. Always stay in the now, because if you start time traveling, it's unnecessary distractions you need, and there's good methods to practice that. They say every day. You can stare at a ball. Focus on one spot for 2 minutes every single day, and just when you inhale and you exhale, and just say like a word. You can say like now, or like ball, or whatever you're looking at. Just to focus on concentrating on staying in the now and not let your mind wander. And I was doing that a lot, actually, my whole life. Actually, I'm like, I go to practice sometimes, and sometimes I'm thinking about how much longer we have in this practice. You know, I'm thinking about when the practice is going to be over. I'm not staying in the now. I'm not focused on what my task is right now. I'm focusing on when is this going to be over? And that's going to lose sight. And you're not going to be able to perform at your best when you're doing that. You will always perform at your best if you can learn just be in the now and focus on the now. Practice will end when it ends. Just focus on the now. And I feel like if I can get that under control, that's one of my my next training methods I'm going to be doing, just focusing on being in the now. And when I read that, I was blown away, and I was like, wow, because I know I do that all the time. You know, my mind always time travels, and it's all about learning how to focus. And Ong, he used to fight for one. He's the one that showed me this stuff. Ong Lasong, you know who that is? Yeah. So
he used to fight for UFC, right?
No. One championship. He was a double champ for one.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a god in Thailand, man. He goes to Thailand, people follow him, and I've heard stories. But he's the one that sent me some of that stuff, and he told me, he's like, when you go to practice, look at your glove and focus on just staying on now. Don't let your mind wander of like how many rounds we're going to do, how many, when we're going to leave practice, things like that. Just focus on every round being in staying round by round, and focus on that round only. And like, if your mind starts wandering, look at your glove and just start to say now, breathe in, breathe out. And there's methods to help. And I'm excited. I can't wait to go back to practice to practice some of that. Yeah, I'm excited.
Stop practicing the plane when you are going back now.
Yeah. I want to wake up every morning, do my 2 minutes of focusing and concentrating on that and practicing the breathing, because you got to repeat it over and over to get better at it. And then I want to practice that in the morning, and then at practice, really think about just focusing on whatever the task is now. And I do that sometimes here in Greece. I'm walking with my wife, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long one. No. Talk to my wife. Let's focus on the now. So I've been practicing while I'm out here with my wife, you know, because I'm always thinking about other stuff. And I'm trying to learn just to channel everything, just stay in the now, you know. And it just made a lot of sense to me. And when you said that, it was very similar to what I saw.
Imagine a game in the UFC. I mean, and the people are like booing because you don't attack and he doesn't attack. And the first round goes like, you know, kind of like Anderson Silva style. Because Anderson Silva said it one time, like, it's different to become a champion, and it's way different to keep that title. Because if you want to keep the title, it's not just you're a good fighter. You need to be a good mental person. GSP was fighting with that thing as well. Like, it's not only the strategy, it's not only the technical fighting, and it's not only, you know what, I'm just going to go inside and, you know, do a left and the right and some kicks. No, it's not only that. Sometimes you need to stand over there, look that guy, your opponent in the eyes, and be like, you know what, I'm not just going to do a move. I'm just going to sit on my ass over here and wait for you, fucker. And that's where you're going to see, I'm not going to let you come over here. Or the way you move, or everything. So I think it's a 50-50 thing. Like a 50 thing, like 50 athletic, and the 50% is a mental.
I don't know. They say it different. I've heard it. It's fighting's 10% skill, 90% mental.
Yeah, they say different things. You know.
Because you see some guys who aren't that skillful, but they have a very strong mental game, and you see them do well. You know, I've seen guys who, you know, get beat up in the gym all the time. You know, Kevin Gastelum was somebody like that. You know, he was the last pick on the Ultimate Fighter, I believe, and he won the whole show. And he was they always say he's just bad in the gym, but he just knew how to turn it on when you're in the cage. And I guess the mental capacity of some people is amazing.
It's amazing, huh? I think you need some guys are born with some skills.
Yeah.
Some guys through life, they get experience that they don't even know how to get it. Like, for example, your parents broke up and you're, you know,
certain traumas that happen in their lives, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And you broke up, you end up in jail, blah, 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 blah. You had a fight, you had two fights. And some other guys, they started and they become good and like, you know what, it's like in a university for me. It's like going to college. Have you read the book, what is it, The Book of War? It's a Chinese book.
No, probably not.
Oh, I've said it many times, dude. You need to, I mean, I have it in my house, which is close by. It's in Greek, though. But when you go to the airport, search for it. Dude, you will message me. You know, a lot of guys are messaging. They think that I'm getting paid for this. Let me just find it in Greek. Where is it? The Art of War.
The Art of War. I think I've heard of that actually.
The Art.
Yes, I'll get that. Right now, I just got a book that Ong Lasong he told me to get. It's called 10-Minute Toughness. It's a good way it's for athletes and their mental state. But I'm gonna get that book too because I have some extra credits and stuff on my Audible. So I'll definitely look into the Art of War. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, listen, this book was like buried for like ages.
Oh, really?
Like it was like maybe 800 or 900 years, and they discovered his grave. Sanju, that's the writer.
Okay.
And they discovered it in 1972. And what happened is that it's a very simple book, because I love the Chinese, how their philosophy, they say like 2 words, and you just mess up with your brain the whole day to get it. Like they say 2 words, the way they write, but it's the whole philosophy thing, you know. And this book is it was written for great commanders in order to win a war, like with spears and horses and everything. Like if you attack, for example, I'll give you an example. If you attack your opponent in 4 corners, you might lose. And you might be like, why? That's what I will do. Because if he understands that we have to give everything, it's no step back, you might see their soul coming out and they might win the game. They might... You understand what I'm saying?
Like, so you're saying that just because somebody might attack from all 4 corners doesn't mean that they're going to win, right? Does that mean that the people inside are like a little smarter, better strategist, or...
The guys inside, they might be like, you know what? We don't have anything to lose. Let's attack those fuckers and kill them.
Yeah.
Let's cut their faces.
Like 300.
Like 300.
Yeah.
And like because in China, years ago, there were a lot of dynasties. You know, like kingdoms, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like in Greece, you know, Athens and Sparta and Thrace and in Crete. So they were having wars every few months. So they had the Mongolians and other people. So anyhow, in order to win, they had to become better and better. So it's a book full of strategies. If you take that and put it in your life, dude, trust me, and it's so easy. And
okay, I'm gonna definitely check that book out. I like what you said. You said they had nothing to lose. You know? Yeah, that's a very interesting thing. If somebody can learn how to just leave it all on the line and have nothing to lose, you know, that's you probably be able to perform at your best, you know.
Yeah, and that's what we said before about the Russian guys, like the guys from Dagestan. They don't have anything to lose. You know what? I'm going to the biggest event of the whole world. I live with chickens and cows, and I like the chicks over there. I like everything what they have. I want to eat the burger, man. I want to be king. And you know what? And he's fighting another guy who's like, if I lose my fight, I might go to the next one. It's not the same. You know, it's not the same. He's giving everything he's got.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you the book after.
Thank you. Because if you're thinking about, what if I lose? What if I... You know, it's probably not a good... You're time traveling now, you know?
Exactly what we said before.
You're time traveling and you're already one step behind. You know? So,
So, who was your... Actually, I want to show you something, and I just remember that you need to tell me the story about Giagos.
Oh, yeah.
2015, I spent a few months in China. I was a Shaolin monk. I trained with the Shaolin, That's
how 2 months, you said?
A few months. It was like probably the whole summer.
Okay.
That's why the color of the podcast is the same color with the Shaolin, the monastery.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's
really
cool.
So it reminds.
That's an experience right there.
Yeah, and I have stuff from there.
Okay.
And I used to write.
What kind of training do you do there?
Shaolin Kung Fu.
Oh, okay.
So you do like 8 hours a day. You wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Shaolin means like a small wood. So it's like
wood, like the sticks.
No. So sorry, it's small forest.
Small. Okay. Got it.
So it's surrounded with mountains. So you're kind of lost over there.
Yeah.
No internet, no chicks, nothing. So you're like 1,000% focused. You're like, I'm at the other side of the world. It's probably a place I don't even know where. I cannot explain to people where am I right now.
Yeah.
So it's me and 100 monks. Dude, that's a movie.
100%. That sounds like a movie. That sounds like a good experience.
Yeah, so I was writing because they couldn't explain in English. There was only one guy, Mr. Wang, that he could explain to us. And I wrote some stuff. So I'll show you after.
Yeah.
Like they give you one word and you're messing with it the whole day, 24 hours. What is this word? Why did he say it in Chinese for me? Discipline. Discipline is discipline. No, for him it's something different. So he wants to explain it. And I was writing stuff and I keep it here from friends if you want to check it out after.
Yeah, definitely take a look at that.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me the story of
Yeah, so my last name, the region, I think the history of, I forget the history of our last name about it was a different last name before, but apparently my uncle just told me a story too. My dad told me in the past, we used to have, I don't know if it's like great or great-great or great-great-great. One of the people in my family, he had a speech problem. So when because my dad grew up on a farm, and so when they, I guess he was with his friends and stuff, and he couldn't say rabbit or bunny in Greek, and I think it's Lagos, yeah, Lagos, but he couldn't say that. He would say Giagos. So everyone would call him like Giagos. He's Giagos because he couldn't say it right, and so that ended up being his name, and that's like the history of our last name. So it's Giagos, not Lagos. Lagos is rabbit, right?
Yeah, it's the wild rabbit.
Yeah, the wild rabbit. Yeah. So, so my last name is
like Bugs Bunny.
A bad way of saying bunny or rabbit. Yeah. So that's a little history of my last name. So
wow, because there is a name in Cyprus called Giagos, but you don't find it here in Greece.
Okay.
So at the beginning, I was like,
yeah, it's Giagos.
Wow.
Yeah. The wrong way to say rabbit. But it kind of goes with, I kind of like it because it kind of goes, because I've always had trouble with like reading and writing because I grew up with two Greek parents, and they didn't teach me very good English because they didn't speak that well of English, but they didn't teach me any Greek either. So I had to learn from, schools, but, I don't think the school systems are that good anyway. Yeah. So, I had always had a little trouble reading and writing early in my in school and stuff. So it was like, I couldn't read and write. My grandpa couldn't say rabbit, it goes perfect.
Match up with history.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do your parents talk at the house? Do they speak Greek?
They speak Greek.
They speak Greek.
Yeah, but they didn't really communicate with us. Because my mom always had to work like 2 jobs as a waitress, and my dad was always like in and out with like, trying to find jobs and whatnot. So when they come home, they pretty much just scream each other in Greek, but we're just off doing our own thing. But we used to have like babysitters and stuff like that, and people watch us, and we pretty much just sat in front of a TV a lot of time too. You know what I mean? Just stick us in front of the TV or put us in a playpen, me and my brother and my sister, and we kind of just raised with each other. So, and when they talk to us, they'll talk to us in English because they moved to they're in America, so they want us to learn English first because they got to go to school.
Yeah.
So that was more important to them for us to learn English, and but there's certain things like they say elado, I know that, like there are certain phrases they would say that I understand as Greek, but then like kala junior, kala mama, I know what she's saying. That's not a good thing. Yeah. I know kala means good, but not the way she said it.
Do you have Greek fan? Like, do people from Greece send you messages or anything?
Yeah. I have some Greek fans that send me messages, but a lot of times they send me in Greek. So sometimes I'll copy and paste it and put
Translate
it on Google. Yeah. So I get fans. I got somebody out here hit me up. He wants my autograph. So I have like a hat I'm gonna sign, probably leave it at my hotel. He said he'll pick it up.
Oh,
but
nice.
Yeah, I want to try to build the fan base a little bit, but it's just hard, you know, because it's a lot of Greek words and Greek stuff, and I don't understand. What's crazy is a lot of my family don't speak English; they just speak Greek. So I'm really mad at my parents for that. But I guess I can learn, and I do want to learn at some point, at least enough to get by, you know, to talk to people,
just to
whatnot. So I think I'm banking it when I have kids. I want them to go to a Greek school, and I might join them. You know, that would be a cool little thing to do. So
yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking serious.
No, definitely. I'm serious about. I'm excited to have kids because I feel like I get to learn all over again a little bit. You know, so. It's exciting. I'm gonna learn with them, you know, and then I get to help them out as well, you know, and help me too.
I'm in that position right now. I have a 4-month boy.
Oh, nice! Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, brother. And you know, I'm just excited because you know a lot of people are like, I'm gonna teach him. You're teaching him, but he's gonna teach you back.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna teach you back. Just break that egoistic and selfish. You know, I mean, guys today, they're different. That our parents were like,
yeah, for sure.
Dude, my dad was like, we used to break glasses in the back. I was like, hey, be quiet over there. You know, he returned. Yeah. Today's guys, parents, fathers are different. Yeah. They're like more into the family and spending more time, and they want to have a kid, but they want to spend time with him. It's different that it was before.
Yeah. Is that like here in Greece?
It's everywhere. Like you see guys.
Yeah, I don't know. In America, it's not so much like that. I mean, it is for sure. You know, the great parents. Actually, you know, it is. You're right. They do want to spend a lot of time with their families, and in America, they have like sleep schedules, and they're serious about their like the way they bring their kids up. But for me, I'm more of just like. He goes to sleep, we'll go to sleep. You know, I don't want to have to follow because there's times my brother or my brother-in-law, they won't bring their kids because it's a nap time or something like that. And
they do that everywhere.
They do that everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be like that. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'll follow it to a certain extent, but I'm not gonna let it stop me from hanging out with people if we want to go to somewhere, go to a party. I'm like, yeah, well.
I think mothers are more like that because you know they feel more responsible about the kids program. I'll be honest with you, if you mess up with his time schedule, he's gonna mess up with yours really bad.
And
if mom is breastfeeding or anything, dude, you're gonna see your wife in a different way. Trust me, you're gonna see like black circles and she's gonna be like, what?
Maybe it'll change, but I just feel like because when I was young, we didn't have no sleep schedules, nothing like that. My mom just if we're gonna go, we're gonna go. You know, we just kind of followed along, and there's no sleep schedules and like that. And I don't know.
You'll figure out.
If it gets too difficult, then maybe I will put them on some type of sleep schedules. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I think we will have a schedule. But what I'm saying more is like, I'm not gonna let it stop me from going. Like, if
I understand.
There's like my friend's birthday party we want to go to, and I can't because they gotta go to sleep. No, I'm not gonna be like that.
Yeah. I mean, when they grow up, it's much better.
But
when it's a baby like this size.
Well, the first year for sure, that's a different story.
First year, because especially, trust me, food is important for a newborn. 50% food, but 50% is sleep.
Yeah.
Because of growth hormone. Mm-hmm. Dude, your kid is waking up the next day and it's different.
No way.
It's different. It's like, dude, did you grow older? Like, did you, he's longer. I'm sure he was like much shorter. Like his nose is changing, his ears, and you're like.
And you see it so fast, huh?
So fast. I mean, their growth hormone is sky high.
Dang, that's crazy.
They sleep like this, and like their eyes. You see their eyes
twitching?
Yeah, and you know that growth hormone is kicking that time. No, kids on steroids.
Take some blood out, put it on. No. Take some of that growth hormone. Yeah. Well, you know that. I mean, we don't get into that topic, but because I know they do. it's very sad, but they take a lot of like research off like, you know, babies who've been like aborted or something, and they take the stem cells out of them, right? Because the cells are so good.
Yeah, they do.
Babies and stuff, and yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, think about that.
Become vampire or something.
Yeah.
Regarding the Greek fans, I'll tell you like I think that if you try to connect with them in any ways, like try to reach not the individuals, but you know, maybe you can give some interviews with some guys. I can help you with that.
Possibly,
There's
definitely.
some fight websites. Like they only do it's UFC, boxing, Muay Thai, karate, judo.
Yeah.
Like if you give some interviews with them, and like we do right now, and they see, hey, this guy is one of ours.
Yeah.
They really stick.
I've had a lot of Greek fans get mad at me because I have a Greek flag right here, but I've been lasering it off, right? But because I have a whole Greek piece on my back, and I want to finish my back. Hades is going to go right there, and his face is going to be where the flag is. I want to put the Greek flag again. I want to make it better. But I mean, I posted a video of me lasering it, like because my cousin-in-law, my wife's cousin, he owns a tattoo shop removal in Vegas. So I want to help. He's giving me a hookup, so I want to, you know, post it up. So I post up the laser shop. So many Greek people. Why you remove the flag? Why are you so mad? That
was a bad video.
But I try to explain to everybody. I messaged a lot of them back like, no, listen, I'm finishing my Greek piece. I'm going to put the flag somewhere else. So I had to do a lot of reaching out to people.
Isn't it weird that you have to explain to everyone today, like what you think? People you don't know. Like, I'm not going to meet this guy, but he's affecting my life right now. That I have to explain to him why am I doing this? Show me your Greek flag, bitch. Yeah. And he's like, I don't have one. Well, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all my tattoos are Greek.
That's what I was going to say. You have like...
Yeah, Athena, because my mom's name is Athena, so I got the statue of Athena. I got her name in here, too. I got the Parthenon, because I remember as a kid, that's the first like big place I remember. Yeah. And I got to go back today, so that was pretty cool. And then, you know, Hercules. Yeah, just fun Greek stuff, you know. And so, yeah, I was like, man, come on. It's just it's a flag. I'll put it somewhere else. I promise. I'm just got to finish my back.
Well, you know, one thing about fans around the world, social media fans, is that I see something I don't like. I have to leave my stigma to that.
Yeah.
Which is like, come on, man. Like, let the guy do whatever he wants. This is fucking skin. Like,
yeah, exactly. His body, his choice, right?
My ass, man. I'm doing whatever I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Regarding opponents, who was the worst opponent? Like from the Charles Oliveira's to Burns to Russia, and why?
What do you mean by worst?
Sorry,
like
not worst.
Toughest?
I'm sorry, toughest. Yeah. Like the worst fight, I want to say, but you know.
I mean, my worst fight was probably the Arman Sarukian fight. Even though I had like one moment in the fight, he tried to take me down, I defended it, and I thought because he's a good wrestler, I was pretty proud of that. But anyway, I got TKO'd in the first round. I think just I was really mentally messed up, but you know he's a very talented fighter too. I just got clipped. So toughest fight. Like overall, I think it all depends on what you define as tough. You know what I mean? Because like Gilbert Burns, you know, I felt
the strongest opponent that you feel his snaps.
Oh, like the punches.
Like you're like, oh shit, this guy's strong.
Josh Emmett. Yeah. I mean, because I was winning the fight. I had him on the ropes, but he would just plant one, boom. I remember being rocked. Oh, crap. You know, trying to wake up out of that. I got rocked in the first round, the second round, and then he TKO'd me in the third. But I landed way more strikes than he would just wait, boom, big shot. Okay, I recover. Win. But I remember him being strong, and he was just tough, and yeah, it was a good fight. We ended up getting fight of the year for the local promotion. If it was in the UFC, I was a 50 G's, baby. But he got signed with the UFC after that fight. And then, but yeah, I think that was one of the toughest fights for sure. Yeah. Because my first time being TKO'd, first time just feeling big hits, you know, because for the most part of my career, I feel like I haven't taken too much damage. I got a couple cuts, but that's about it. You know, I haven't taken too much big shots, and that was the first time I took some big shots.
Why do you think? Because of your defense way, your distance way?
No. That was just it was my first fight out to UFC. I was like, who's this guy? He's not on my level. You know what I mean? I was just and I came at him, and with a guy like Josh, and I did well. Don't get me wrong. You watched the fight. But I just came at him. I was lunging forward, and so it was only a matter of time until he can land the big shot, and that's his plan. You know, that's a lot of his fights. He fought Michael Johnson. You know, he was losing the whole fight and just lands a big one. You know. He's a guy. He's a big hitter for sure. So I just think I just came in a little too aggressive, and I feel like that's the thing that's gonna balance me out best is if I can learn to be a little more patient in there, which is gonna come from doing it in practice. I feel like it's gonna help me a lot because being overly aggressive have got me in a lot of mistakes. And it's like I feel like something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. I need to do something. It's like nah, you just chill, move. You know what I mean? Like use your legs, move around. You know, regroup yourself, catch your breath or something. So I feel like if I can start doing that a little better, I feel like that's going to be the biggest transformation in my game because I feel like I fixed almost everything. I feel like that's the last piece.
What is your stronger weapon that you have, like knees, kicks?
Nah, I think I'm a big puncher for sure. Yeah. People tell me I got hands of stone. Even my last opponent told me I got hands of stone. So I just got to be a little more confident because, like I said, I started off as a wrestler. So I still sometimes when I feel like the pressure's getting hot, I turn to that. I don't want to turn to that. I got fire in these hands. I use them, you know. Cover up, take a couple hits. It's okay to take it. I got to remember that too. Sometimes you get hit a little bit. You start freaking out like, oh, I'm not supposed to be getting hit. It's like, it's okay to get hit. You know, you're in a fight. I got to remember that. And if you get hit, you know, a lot of wrestlers, they just turn to it. They used to get hit a little bit. They start shooting. Yeah. You know, and I don't want to be that person. You know?
Sensitive fighter.
Yeah. Because I've been in wars and I've been where, like, I don't want to go to the ground with people. So when I have that mentality going to the fight, like, I don't want to go to the ground. He's a black belt. I'll take hits. I don't mind. You know what I mean? But then when there's guys who, like, I know I could take him down and do well on top, then I get in this mindset where it's like, I got to take him down. So just learning how to balance that out. And now, like, after my last fight, like I said, I made another mistake trying to get desperate and shot. So just remember, it's okay to get hit. Trust these hands. I'm going to be putting people down. You know what I mean? So I want to shy away from the wrestling. Unless, like, you know, if it's there, it's there. But I don't want to have to rely on it. Like, make it a must. You know what I mean? Oh, if I don't get it, now it's messing my head up a little bit. No. Trust these hands, let them fly, and that's going to be happening now.
Yeah.
So I want to put people down. It feels good, man. Like I said, when I like 2 fights ago, this guy never been knocked out. Both guys never been knocked out, but this guy never been knocked out before, and I put him down real easy. I'm like, man, everyone in the gym tells me, you got hands of stones, man. Trust those hands. You got hands of stones, man. Trust those hands. And then, so that's, maybe I'll change my nickname to Hands of Stones. No, just kidding. No.
That's it. His nickname, Roberto Duran. Manos de Piedra is like Hands of Stone.
I remember. They made a movie about him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a movie, there's a documentary, The Four Kings. Have you seen Four Kings?
No.
Four Kings, man. It's like an amazing documentary, like from the 80s.
Okay.
Which is Roberto Duran, Hagler, Hearns, and Sugar Ray.
Oh, no way. Okay. I know 2 of those guys. So I know Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray. So that would be a good documentary to watch.
Sure you know Hagler.
Maybe if I see him, I'm really bad with names. That's my thing. I'm really bad with names. But I like to watch documentaries like that. That'd be a good one to watch for sure.
I mean, if
it's called The Four Kings.
Four Kings, right? Four Kings boxing documentary.
Okay, I'll find that easy.
You find that in a torrent, whatever, or you will find it. Actually, Hagler is I mean, those guys, they have like the top 10 of the best fights ever. I mean, there's this it was just this boxing game, Hagler against Hearns, which is like, dude, I'm talking about war, like, bam, 15 rounds of war. It was like in the 80s, like a little bit before the Mike Tyson. Okay. 84, 85, 86. Dude, it's amazing. Like this guy Hagler, he's like I mean, I haven't seen anyone punching like that except, you know, the usual guys.
Yeah.
And Hearns on the other side, he's a tall guy, super skinny, with like a reach, like a John Jones reach.
Yeah.
And he's like punching guys from 2 meters away. And amazing. I'll send you some stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I love to learn from these guys. Like in general, like Muhammad Ali and
for sure. Everybody, like I said earlier, everybody has something to offer, and especially the greats. When you get to hear things about what the greats, it's really cool to pick their brain and try to understand how their brain works a little bit. You know, it's very interesting. So yeah, that's a documentary I would love to watch.
Yeah, you do. Oh, of course, there's documentary about Muhammad Ali as well.
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of Mike Tyson because I was a big Mike Tyson fan. You know,
everyone.
Yeah. So I just he's just an interesting character. So I used to love watching documentaries on him. I watched the series they did on him. So I know a lot about Mike Tyson. I got to learn a little bit more about Muhammad Ali. I know a little bit, but yeah. He was one of the original shit talkers too, right?
Yeah, he was the master one. Muhammad Ali is like, he's the guy who's a master of trash talking, but he wasn't talking like today's trash talking. Like he was close to like, I'm gonna mess up with your head. I'm not I'm not saying anything about your wife, your kids. Today he went to, it's like today's rap's music, you know, it's shit.
Oh my God, I'm with you there.
I mean, that time, remember he was calling Frazier like he attacks like a mummy because he had his arms like this. Here comes the mummy, you know. And Muhammad was like super fast, running clockwise against his opponent. Like, you cannot touch me.
Footwork, yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, like a butterfly sting, like a bee.
Oh yeah.
Did you know? Didn't he do one of the first MMA fights ever? Have you heard about that?
Oh, Muhammad.
Yeah.
Oh, he fought with a wrestler.
Yeah.
And I used to remember the wrestler's name, but I forgot it now.
I think that technically that was like an MMA fight because they were able to do takedowns and stuff or something like that.
Yeah, you know what? I think it was a freestyle, like the wrestler attacked the boxer. Because that's what he could do only.
Yeah.
But it was,
I don't know. I just heard someone say like Muhammad Ali technically did the first MMA fight. It might have been an expedition or something like exhibition.
Something that it was not a serious game.
Yeah. It wasn't a serious fight, but yeah, I was like, oh shoot, that's cool.
You know, Bruce Lee was a guy who did Enter the Dragon, the movie.
Yeah.
And he was wearing the MMA gloves that we wear today.
Oh yeah. I've seen that.
I think he did a Kimura.
Really?
Against the other actor over there. But it was in 1971, man, 1972. Like, that guy was like way ahead.
Oh, yeah.
He's like an alien. It's like, I'm going to show you the future.
Bruce Lee's something else. I always say this. I never watch any of his movies. I've seen a bunch of clips and stuff, and I've seen like videos of Bruce Lee, but I never watched one of the movies. No, all the way through. I need to do that for sure.
Dude, I have to send you a lot of stuff, man. Tell me when you have like a time to don't do anything else. I'll send you documentaries and movies and books.
Yeah. Well, let's start with one book first.
No, this book, I tell you, is like 100 pages. You don't have to worry.
Perfect. I like that. See, those are my kind of books.
Yeah. You know, this one is easy because it immediately directs. You know, you get the message.
Yeah.
Get the message.
Well, that's good.
You get the message. It's not about
reading. Was something that was not my favorite thing. So I do more audiobooks. So I got this. They took 10-minute toughness. So I want to finish that. I started that in the plane a little bit. So I think I'll be able to finish it on the way home. But it's only 5 hours, so it's like a 13-hour trip home. So if I don't sleep, I'll probably be listening to the book.
Well, you flying back to Los Angeles? Oh, no, back to Florida, right?
Yeah. No, New York, then Florida. Yeah.
New York and then Florida. Yeah. It's not a Memphis flight?
No.
Are you going with which Delta?
Delta. Yeah.
That's a long trip.
Yeah.
It's
all right. Hopefully, I get some sleep too.
Oh, you will.
On the way up here, I got no sleep
because of the jet lag.
Yeah. I wanted to sleep on the way to Amsterdam, but didn't work out because of the time. It was too soon for the time difference. And we tried taking sleeping things, and but on the way home, hopefully we'll see. And maybe I'll stay up all night.
I'm a jet lag how do you say
expert?
expert.
Oh,
It's only one thing to do, man.
Stay up until nighttime.
Yeah.
I know. I did that when I got here. I slept on the way from Athens to Argos in the car. Took us a little nap, maybe like an hour and a half, and then we got to Argos, and then we stayed. Of course, we stayed up. I was tired, but we stayed up until about like 11 midnight, and then boom, out. Jet lag cured. Just on the plane, I couldn't sleep. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, watching movies and stuff.
Yeah, the key is not to nap. You can't nap too much, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all adjusted now. I got adjusted pretty quick. So,
Do you like Greece?
I love Greece.
Yeah.
Oh my God, me and my wife are having a blast. She's probably like, oh, you've been gone for too long, because she's having so much fun. We can't stop smiling. How much fun? How we just love seeing everything. We love the culture. She's always been a big fan of Greece too, because she watched this movie. It's like a
Big fan of Greece, ready?
No. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants or whatever, and it's like a girl movie, but they meet a Greek guy, and he had an accent, and ever since she saw that movie, she's like, I always wanted to meet a Greek guy and go to Greece, and well, now you got both of that.
Small decisions change your life. You watch a movie, boom.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. But no, she loves it. Greece has always been the top of her list that she wanted to go to, and we're having a blast, and we haven't even gone to the islands yet. We leave tomorrow, so she's just the whole culture's, the food's amazing, and you know what's very interesting, the difference between the States and Europe. The food doesn't make me feel like I get full, but I don't feel or sluggish, and I believe it has to do with the oils and maybe what's in the ingredients in the bread, but I'm just like I never feel like sluggish or gross after I eat. In America, you feel that if I eat out at a restaurant, I don't feel too good afterwards. You know, it's so weird. So she reacts off of like breads and stuff, and that's why she doesn't do much carbs anymore, because she feels better. But she's been eating a lot of carbs out here, and nothing's affecting her either. So it's food's a good quality food out here.
It's a good quality. We're still lucky saying that because food is not that processed.
Yeah.
And I mean, the United States is a big factory in general. It's a big factory, brother. Because you might not eat KFC every day, but you're still eating chicken, which is like KFC. You know what I mean? Like, you're still eating that processed. You know, here, if you're lucky, you find a lot of bio stuff. And, you know, of course, it depends where you're going. You had a restaurant, you know how it works. I can put machine oil in the food. Nobody knows everything.
Well, we cooked with a lot of vegetable oil, which is really bad anyway for people. So bad. Oil, all that. So, but America uses a lot of that. Even the Coca-Colas are different here and there. You know, because you guys use real sugar here. They use
processed
fruit syrup or corn syrup.
Oh,
it's crap, man.
Well, you know what? It's a decision like it's a decision to make, where am I going to get my food? I mean, I want to travel to that city because it's beautiful, but do we even put this in our thought, like, where am I going to find real food if I go over there? Like, because food is a lifestyle. You know, you spend a lot of time eating.
Absolutely.
And you want to enjoy that thing. Like, you go to a restaurant and you spend like $100 or $200, and you're like, what the hell did I want? Why did I do this to my body?
Yeah. You always regret bad decisions, for sure. Yeah. I had a burger. We went to an American bar. Did you know the Tiki? Well, is it Tiki Athens?
Sure, because the Tiki has my logo.
Oh, they do? No way. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I used to go to that place.
So we went there yesterday. I was like, okay, I got a burger. I'm telling you, that was probably one of the best burgers I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Like eating out, because when I eat, I love burgers, and I get burgers everywhere in America. But and there's spots that I like, but in Florida, I haven't found a good spot that I like. It's very oily, very greasy.
It is.
It felt like a very home cooked burger, and the bread, it was just so good. And
I'll tell you something. In Athens, Athens is like a gastronomy place, all around the Europe. Like, a gastronomy is what I'm saying is that, it's a place. It's a place to eat. Like Athens, you can find anything in a good way.
And it's
like,
all good.
You might pay like $30 for a cocktail or 25. I'm not saying that that's the price. I'm just saying that you can find that and you'd be like, dude, that's the best cocktail I ever had in my life. Because people are like studying. They know what they're doing. In Greece, because the food is, let's say that, because Greek food is high in the food chain. It's Italian, the Greek, and the Mediterranean in general. If you do something bad, next day you're done as a business. It's not like in the United States that I'm taking meat from the next from Walmart. What was it? Big, not Walmart. The other
Costco.
Sam's Club. Sam's Club. If you go to Sam's Club, which I don't know if they have good or bad, but if you go to a local store and just take whatever and put some sauce on it. And they're going to be fine. They're not going to be fine here. They're going to throw rocks on you.
Really?
Yeah, they're not going to be like, dude, what the hell is this?
They're serious about their food,
They're serious about their food because the line is here. It's not here.
Yeah. Because in America, you'll get a lot of bad experiences, and people will still come back. You know, it's crazy. I won't. If I get a bad experience in America, I'm sorry, but... not in my business anymore. Are
you comparing the burger you ate over there with, for example, Wendy's, or you compare it with a good place?
With a good place,
not a TGI Fridays.
No, like there's this place called Smash Burger, expensive burgers, and they got good burgers there. You know, they do well. My friend loves it, but I wasn't too fond of it. I've had a lot of burgers in Florida. The best burgers that I like are the ones I make at home. I can make a good burger, a homemade burger. And it just feels less greasy. I guess it's just too greasy, and it's not. The only other burger that I like to eat out is In-N-Out. Do you know In-N-Out?
Yeah,
In-N-Out has a good burger.
Yeah.
I like In-N-Out's burgers. And I like going to like diners. Diners have good burgers too.
They do.
Yeah, so
they raise up the bar.
Yeah. So when people like to go to Five Guys or breweries have decent burgers too. Like breweries, they make a good burger, but it's still, I just feel like they're too greasy. So, like I said, I was blown away yesterday over here. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Best places to go, I mean, for me right now to eat those kind of food is like you go to a place, you might do your research, and you find the place that, you know what, it's not a franchise. Like they don't order 500,000 of burgers every day.
You don't want a franchise.
Yeah, you just want to go, even if it's a good franchise, I mean, you can find a local place, which is a guy, the owner, he's over there. Maybe he's not over there, but you know what? They're spending some quality. They throw you out some quality food. That's what I think. And then if they do that, that's the whole thing. Like they do that with potato chips. They do that with their beer. And I love that.
Yeah,
I love that because we're spending a lot of money eating outside.
Yeah,
and if you want to take me outside, because when I'm home, I'm one of the guys that if I'm home, I'm happy.
Yeah, same.
So if you want to take me out, I don't care. I mean, I can spend any much amount of money. It's not the money. It's that don't make me regret. Even if it's for $1 or €1. If I eat shit, I do understand it right now. My stomach understands it. It goes back when we started this conversation that I know my body very well.
Yeah.
And if you make me feel bad and I cannot sleep at night, dude, that's a game over for you. And I might talk to the podcast about it. Not the name, but,
Well, then after this, you're going to have to give me recommend a spot out here in Athens for me, so because we're probably gonna have some lunch after done with this. So yeah. You gotta tell me a good spot.
Of course, I will.
One of your favorite spots.
Oh yeah, I will.
Perfect.
Hey, what do you want to do when your career ends? Like, I don't know if you ever thought about it.
I think about it all the time. As far as the job goes, maybe something in the medical field, as far as like an EMT or firefighter or something like that. Along those lines, I wanted to be a cop, but my wife won't let me. So
you like the street,
huh?
You like the suite.
Yeah, the suit. Yeah. Man in uniform. But hopefully, what I want to do is make enough money because I want to buy some more real estate. We bought our house in Florida, but I want to buy some rental properties, and because we want to retire a little younger and have some rental properties, make money off that. So that's our goal, and thankfully my wife has a good job too. So if win a couple more fights, I can probably buy another 1 or 2 properties or some duplexes somewhere and start there. So if I can do that, that's ideally what I want to do, so I can like spend more time with my kids and stuff like that, because I don't want to have to work a lot. But if I do work, it's probably going to be something along with the medical field. Because my brother's a firefighter, my best friend's a firefighter, and it just seems like the job. It seems like a good brotherhood to have, like the fire department and stuff like that. So
a complete circle of
Yeah. Exactly. And I'll still be a fighter in some sense, a firefighter.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. That'd be the main goal. So I actually almost went to do my EMT school before my 2 fights ago, just to have it to start the process a little bit. But I was like, I put it on pause. I won't wait. I'm gonna just give everything I have in these next fight.
Yeah, and you can start anytime you want.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, I heard my friend told me they like guys who are like ex-athletes or ex-things. So
I'm sure they do,
because they have like good discipline and they get the work ethic and things like that. So that's good. So maybe I have a little easier time
as a firefighter.
Yeah.
You don't want to end up like a cop, because if you end up like you have to choke people like triangles.
Yeah, and plus there's a ton of paperwork they got to deal with now. I heard I have a friend that's a cop, and he said that a lot of the older cops, like, they're saying that it's not as the job's not as fun anymore, because like people don't want to give tickets anymore, because it's a big process of writing tickets, and especially DUIs, that'll last you hours. Like, trying to arrest somebody. So it's kind of weird, because like you want these people off the streets, but people will let them go because they don't want to deal with the hard work, and they make it hard. And so it's just like, what do you do?
Well, you know what? It's a hard job in the States. I mean, it's not hard. Like, to being cop, it's a decision. It's a serious decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had friends in the States who were cops, and they were like, you know what? I kiss my wife every morning when I leave the house. But dude, I really I have this thought in my mind. Like, every time I kiss her, like, she doesn't understand it, but I'm like, I kiss my wife and I'm like, I hope I'm going to kiss her again. It's a serious job,
Sure, absolutely.
It's way different. I mean, from here, it's way different. Here, they don't get paid well.
Yeah.
It's an issue.
I've heard.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that how they do it. But in the United States, they get paid more, but it depends. If you're in Chicago and they send you in a place that
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
My brother-in-law, he used to fight too. He used to corner me too back in the day. Yeah. My wife's brother, but he's a cop now in Inglewood, and it's busy. It's busy over there.
Where in Inglewood?
Inglewood, California. Yeah. Sorry, Inglewood, California. Yeah. Sorry, Inglewood, California. Like, it's pretty bad neighborhood out there. It's
where exactly? In LA?
LA, yeah, Los Angeles, Inglewood. That's where like the NWA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it close to Compton?
I mean, Compton's in that general area. So there's Inglewood. Yeah, it's Inglewood and Compton. Yeah, they're pretty close.
Oh man, I would have liked to be in his position.
Yeah, no, it's busy, and there's people getting shot. He said all the time, So reporting the scenes. He said he's already, like, within a month or 2 months of him having the job, he already had to like draw guns out. But there was nobody in the building. They just thought there was somebody in the building. But yeah, it's just crazy busy. So
well, definitely you get a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Definitely you get a heartbeat over there, man. It's weird. Like, you're holding a gun and you're like, I don't even know if I take the gun out, I don't even know. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
You don't know who's carrying guns. You don't know who's inside. Maybe he's a maniac. Maybe he's
and now you got social media, so it's like people are like, if you make a bad decision, you're gonna get rapped on, and people are gonna talk, and it's so funny too, because in America, when all those people were getting mad because a cop shot somebody and they made the wrong decision, but they never look at the person getting arrested. He's resisting arrest. He runs back to his car to grab something. He's doing all these things. Okay, he didn't grab a gun, but like the cop's telling him to stay still, and he goes and runs and grabs something in the car. Like, I'm going to shoot him too, probably, you know? But then because he didn't have a gun, people were like, oh, there was no threat. The cop gets blamed for it, and it's very sad. So it's like, I think it's hard to be a cop, man. It's hard to make the right decision.
Yeah. And you know what? Tell me a person who always got the right decision. Do you know anyone? No. I don't.
No.
I don't.
No. That's what I tell my wife a lot, too, about being, you know, parents and stuff. She's always like, we got to make sure we're good and doing this and making the right decision. Like, babe, it's like, we're going to mess up. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to do our best.
Yeah, we're going to do our best.
That's how you learn. Making bad decisions help you become smarter, you know? So
I have an advice for her if she's the podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Just be a good person.
That's it. Exactly.
Just be a good person. You're going to make mistakes. It's impossible. Even if you do something correct, it can still be like after 5 years. Like, I'll tell you something funny. My mom, when I was a kid, was like, "You better eat your breakfast." And what was it? My breakfast, high sugar chocolate choco pops with milk and sugars and stuff, which today is like, well, I'm not gonna let my kid eat for like 10 or 15 years. Like, my insulin was going like sky high since 6 o'clock in the morning that we used to go to school. Today is a mistake. By that time, it was like, that's how we learn.
Yeah. Dang. So yeah, my mom did the same thing. Fruity Pebbles cereals, chocolate milk.
Oh yeah.
The lemonade that was so sugary. It would make drinks. Yeah, always. But dang, I was gonna say something about that. Joe Rogan podcast, he talked about it a little bit. How in the United States they made a new food pyramid, and they try to say that Lucky Charms was healthier than meat. Yeah. They put it above meat, and it was just, I don't know. And you kind of see, I don't know if you see it in Greece so much. I don't think it'll ever happen in Greece, but in the United States, you can tell they're like slowly trying to get rid of meat.
They do.
They're trying to turn people away from it. You know, and it's
here as well.
Oh, really? They are.
They are everywhere.
Dang, that's so crazy how they're doing it.
It is.
Did the thing happen with the eggs with you guys? How the eggs skyrocketed? That happened with you guys too, man.
Yeah.
So that happened worldwide.
Like, they support the eggs and some fish, and fish as well. Which fish here is different from fish in the United States.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Mediterranean.
If you go here today to Piraeus and go to a local fish tavern, you'll be like, that's the best fish I ever had.
Yeah. Well, my uncle took me to a spot. My dad's godson owns a restaurant in, I think, Millie, or somewhere by Argos.
Yeah.
And we went there, and my God, it was the best. It was so good.
Yeah.
And it's just extra salt because the Mediterranean Sea just hits differently. You know what I mean?
You can't compare with tilapia and codfish.
Yeah. No, and like I said, I don't eat fish that much, and I was
Maybe I was the reason. Maybe
maybe that is the reason.
I was the reason. I have what I noticed about the U.S. about the states and other countries. I have TV in my house. I don't spend time on TV. I'm a freaking workaholic, but I do spend 30 minutes or 40 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Just to chill out with my wife and just, chit chat and, So I have a cable with all channels, like France and Spain and Russia and United States and British and Greeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't order it, but it came like that. I had like a full package. Anyhow, I'm just watching the USA channels, the British channels, and the Greek channels.
Yeah.
It's amazing how and I told my wife, and she's laughing about it. Like, you're watching a channel, and it's like junk food advertise, cars, Geico insurance shit, and again, and pharmacy.
Pharmacies, that's the big one.
Shoot, dude, it's like a program. Like, eat that shit, and if you feel bad that eating I'm not gonna say the name or whatever, a pizza, whatever, or a KFC or whatever. well, I have the solution because we have the pill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Buy a car and have the insurance. Let's go back again.
And then have you heard my friend's from Australia, so when he heard it, he couldn't believe it was real. He thought it was a joke. They had a pharmacy commercial on. It's like, if you're having trouble with headaches or something, take this pill, you know what I mean? And at the end of it, this little soft voice, this may cause seizures, this, that, and they started naming all the things that can be bad, like it may raise high blood pressure, seizures, can cause this, that. And it's just like, he was like, wait, they're allowed to sell this to people?
Yep, for headaches.
Yeah. But it's like it can cause. There's a risk that it can cause a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
and people are scared from COVID.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in China, they didn't have a pill for anything. You broke your leg on practice, we'll have a solution. They had their own pharmacy with like
herbs.
Yeah,
like Eastern medicine. So that's what I'm getting into now, actually. Yeah.
You do?
I don't do any pharmaceutical drugs. No way.
Dude, send me some stuff.
Yeah. Well, so we're learning about some herbs right now. We're doing the Celtic salt. We take Celtic salt every day. It's good for the minerals and stuff. We do what's it called? Sea moss. You know sea moss?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's sea moss that we ordered it from Ireland, actually.
Must be expensive, right?
No, just I think that the sea moss from there is a lot better. My wife does most of the research.
Okay.
But yeah, you can you soak it and then you make it and then you turn it into a gel and you pretty much take 2 scoops we take a tablespoon every morning.
What's the taste of it like?
Doesn't really taste like much. It's not that bad. Just the texture's a little weird, but it tastes like nothing really. And when we soak it in water, we soak it with lemon, so it's a little lemony, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
But mostly we do I do the cold water therapy, which is nice.
Oh, the bath.
And you know, a lot of fasting I do, and then you know, sauna. So that I feel like has a lot of good benefits for your immune system and whatnot. But I don't really get sick or nothing anymore. So and then if I have a headache, I don't even get headaches. So
I don't either. And if I have one, it must be a reason. Like, and I go to the reasons. Like, did I sleep well? Like, you know, or I was tired or anything. Dude, I get punched and you get punched in the face and I don't get headaches.
Yeah.
If I get a headache, it must be a reason. When I was a kid, I had headaches, but it was from all this stupid food that I used to eat, like all these processes.
Yeah.
It messed up with me. And I just drink a lot of water and breathe through my nose. And you know what? I'm patient. It's going to go away, dude. You know, I can carry a headache. It's okay. It's life, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have to take a dozen pills that might kill me.
And ibuprofen, I feel like it's so bad for the stomach, and people just take it for anything. You know what I mean? You know, people take ibuprofen so they can not get a hangover the next day or something. It's just they take these things every day, and I just believe the pharmaceutical industry is so corrupt that they want to keep people sick. So I don't touch anything. Yeah. Unless, I don't teach anything. I didn't even want to take the sleeping thing on the airplane, but I needed something to go to sleep. But
I don't even give my dog a sleeping pill when we travel. Like, I take my dog with me, and I don't. I mean, I prefer for him to be like miserable for 1 hour or 2 hours. But I saw him when we had to give him a pill, and I don't like seeing my dog with the tongue outside, be like, take like 3 days to recover. I'm gonna kill him. It's like a slow death.
That's good. I don't think you should give dogs medicine. You know what I mean? I don't even give my dog food. We do a raw diet.
Oh, you do that?
Yeah, we do full raw diet. Yeah, so we're just really big on just trying to be healthy for our dogs, for us, and just learning.
Escape the system.
Escape
that system. Yeah.
Anything that the government tells me to do, I'm going to do the opposite.
The opposite. Oh, yeah. We love the government. Yeah. But we're not going to do what they tell us to do.
No. Because if everybody complies, that's how they get your control. You know what I mean?
Man, life changed, man. People change. And people were not like that. Like, people... One day, people told in the United States that we have to fight on the other side of in 1960s. We have to go to Vietnam and fight people. Then they went. And now, right now, people are like, no, you know what? I don't trust you.
Yeah.
I don't trust this guns and pharmacy and whatever life you're giving me. I don't. I'm just going to back off and do my own and try to be an outlaw, but not go against the laws.
Yeah. It's still, you know, be a good person, follow the laws to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But it depends how crazy the laws get, you know?
And depends which state you're.
I'm interested to see if they try to lock the country down again, what's going to happen.
I don't think they can do that again.
Yeah. Because I remember they've been talking about it. They've been talking because all of a sudden COVID started coming back, right? Yeah.
Amazing. Hey, man, I'm going to wrap it up.
Oh, sounds good.
I know that you're super busy. Like, you're on holidays, but you're busy, like, going to places.
Yeah. I got to go spend some time with my wife. We got to do some shopping, go see some family a little bit.
Yeah.
And,
sounds great.
Get ready for tomorrow. But, yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Good conversation.
Yeah. And I have nothing to wish you but the best.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Awesome to meet you. I'll tell Arya you said what's up.
Oh, yeah. I have goosebumps, man. Because you know what? I used to work with him for a year. Like, you know, we used to send me diets and stuff and workouts. But I've learned, I put my brain to understand why is he giving me this right now? Why he doesn't give me fats after the gym? Why? And I study. It was like university for me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he got really smart with that actually, because you know what's funny? His brother Mike, my friend, he started doing physique first, and his brother was always built and stuff. But Mike convinced Arya to try it.
Yeah.
First show he did, first place, became pro. I think he took second at the pros in Vegas, and then he got his pro card, or maybe first. I don't know, first or second he got, and then he just got serious about it, and just went all in and learned really about macros and diets and all that stuff. So.
And I saw his brother. I remember because I've been following their journey, and I mean, Arya, he's very good in exposing not his personal life, but exposing some stuff. He's good in writing. Like, he explains everything. This is a loss. This is how I take off a loss. This is how I prepare and everything. He doesn't appear every day on things on social media, but every time he does, he has a reason. And I remember he had a photo with his brother years ago, and he was explaining. And he loves Rocky as well.
Yeah.
And he was telling this story that his brother convinced him and everything. But Arya was like, he's holding records for like bench press and stuff. You know, it's they went to my high school too. Redon Union. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. I always saw their names, and it was in the wrestling room because the weight room is connected to the wrestling room. No kidding.
So I saw their names before I met them. Mike Safai and Arya Safai, and I was like, two Safais, but they're genetic freaks. Their sisters ripped too. They're just naturally.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
because their dads used to make them work out when they were young and stuff, and. To be 165 pounds, benching 350 in high school is insane, dude. It was insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, so I always saw their names on the wall.
2-3 times your body, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you, brother.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Wish you the best, too.
Well, I wish you the best as well.